Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Did you know that science has discovered you actually have three brains, and each one is designed to run a certain amount of functions within you and then produce results on the outside? So you know that you've got a brain between your ears. But did you also know that your heart has been found to have its own brain? This is what gives you that emotional intelligence. And it's fascinating how they found this out on heart transplant patients. So someone needed a heart transplant, and then there was a donor who passed away and said, please use my heart with someone else. The recipient, not always, but enough times that they did studies on it, the recipients of the donated heart all of a sudden started showing up with habits that were completely out of character for them. Maybe before the surgery, they hated fish. And now after the heart surgery, they crave sushi or a certain type of hobby or a career that they felt called to engage in that they weren't even interested in before. They didn't even notice it. And it happened enough times that studies were done on it, and it was discovered that that was the emotions of passion and interest and engagement that the donor had. So they actually transferred over with the heart. And then science, here in the last decade or so, discovered we have a brain in our gut. And not surprising when you hear people talk about intuition or getting that gut feeling. Here's the challenge. Those three things, because of your programming and conditioning, are more likely to put you on the incorrect path. They will actually lie to you than they will in having you live your legacy. And when I say you live your legacy, that is not something that you leave when you transition out of this world. It's something that you live every single day. You are modeling your brilliance. You're being your best. See, intuition, it has been found, also known as instinct, will lie to you if you're in a situation you've never been in before, because your powerful mind does not have anything to fall back on. So if you're in a situation you've never been in before and you're trying to make a decision going off of your intuition or your instinct, it will take you back to the familiar zone, what you already know. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that if you draw a very small circle, that is the familiar zone. If you draw a larger circle around that, that is what's known as your terror barrier. It's what you have to go through to get to the larger circle that's outside of those two, and that is your growth zone. You have to go through the very things that you want to shy away from because it is the unknown. So your intuition will lie to you. Now, if you're relying on your heart and your emotions, those will also lie to you, because very few of us have been taught how to handle our emotions. And so what happens when we start to step out of that familiar zone? Some people call it the comfort zone. No, it's not. Look how tiny it is. You can't stretch out and move in that. So it's not comfort. It's what you're safe with. And this is the reason why you can repeat dysfunction again and again, because you're safe with it. You know the outcome. You're certain of it. Okay, so emotions will lie to you. They will actually, uh, the term is called flooding. They will flood your system. If you think of waves knocking you down again and again, and you're rolling underneath the water, I know what that's like. Just last summer, I was whitewater rafting for the first time and chose to go down some rapids that were used in the Olympics. We had a guide. I always say, hey, if I'm going to move through that terror barrier, I'm going to do it all at one time. I'm not going to do it in pieces. Well, we wound up flipping the raft. I was trapped not just underneath the raft, but underneath the 5 other guys that were in the raft with me. It took me a while to get to the surface. I know what it's like to be flooded and feel like you are actually fighting for your life, because in some circumstances you are. But here's the thing: once you've been conditioned to experience that type of flooding in that small, very familiar zone, your mind will seek out people, places, and things to flood you again. It doesn't know that it's doing it incorrectly. It thinks that it's actually serving you. This is the reason why I was raised in a household that was abusive mentally, emotionally, and physically. And so whenever I sought out experiences as a young adult, guess what? I would seek out abusive relationships, repeating that habit and pattern. And then I would get flooded with, oh, I need to fight this. And then my brain would set off dopamine, actually a reward, going, that's right, you're a fighter, you fight for it. Oh my gosh, you already know this is going to wear you out if you're constantly having to fight for your success. See, my big promise for you this month is you can reach greater heights of success with less effort. Excuse me. That's my big idea. My big promise is that you can relax into success. You can relax into who you really are. You don't have to constantly fight for this, but you need to be able to take those emotions and relabel them as excitement, because fear and excitement set off the same area in the brain. Okay. And then the brain between your ears, that's knowledge. Knowledge will lie to you also. Because when your eyes are open to knowledge, you are open to what's known as good and evil. And because your brain, the way it's designed, not your powerful subconscious, your subconscious is found in every single cell in your body. I'm talking about the brain between your ears. It is designed to avoid pain 80% more than it is to seek progress. This is the reason why it is so easy to remember a painful experience. 80% more storage, more bandwidth in your brain is taken up storing that painful experience than it is the progress ones. That's why it's so easy to remember. All right, so what do we need to do to begin to flip the switch on all of this? It's what's known as opening the eyes of your heart. So if you think about your heart, it is the go-between on your gut and your brain. So everything is going to filter with your heart, but we're not talking emotions. We're talking about you being able to see with your heart. That is first going to give you understanding. I mean, if you don't have understanding, not knowledge, but understanding on how something works, then you can't use it. Then discernment, how to be able to use that understanding in the best way. And then that results in wisdom. Okay. What will you get as a result of wisdom? Wisdom gives you 5 things. Number 1, it gives you what's known as length of days, which is health and a long life. It's not good to live a long life when you're in pain, and it's not good to be healthy but have a very short life. So it is going to give you both of those. Then it's going to give you prosperity and abundance. Money is not the most important thing, but it touches everything that is. Then it's going to bring you honor. People are going to respect you. for what it is you can do. Pleasantness. Life is enjoyable. And then the very last thing, all of your paths are peace. This is when you can relax into success. Nothing is missing, nothing is broken. Shalom, the higher in me salutes the higher in you. Okay, you already possess all of this. If I can assist you in bringing this out, if you're interested in having a consult to see how that might work for you, whether it's with hypnosis and coaching, what's known as a Jumpstart Your Success package, or maybe accelerating the success you've already got with coaching, then reach out to me. 1-636-699-7791. Again, that is 1-636-699-7791. But if you do so this week, this week of April, that means you need to reach out to me by Friday, April 16th. I am going to have a very special bonus I'm going to add on for you. So until we get together again, it is time for you to open the eyes of your heart and start seeing the world as it really is. And it is here for you to be absolutely brilliant. Time to turn your light on even brighter.